I think today is the time to conceive all these brilliant ideas and fill the gap and move forward with unity of thought and action. Ladies and gentlemen, but the question is, and that's a very, very important question, and I have to address this question fair and square, because if I don't, then you would be thinking, once you have gone from this wonderful conference being organized here, that Shahbaz Sharif was not fair enough. He didn't tell us that why should we come and invest in Pakistan? Why should we not go to those places where money finds most profitable levels of income? Why should we come and invest in Pakistan where bureaucracy is lethargic, where there are, time lag is months, if not years, where things are not transparent, where, of course, corruption is galloping? Ladies and gentlemen, I am being very honest with you today, because I am not addressing an assembly which is alien. We are all brothers and sisters sitting here. Most of us belong to the same region, belong to the same culture. And why shouldn't we talk very frankly without mincing words? So what I'm saying was that why should we go to Pakistan where there is galloping corruption? Why should we go to Pakistan where they don't want to raise projects with speed and with transparency? And why should we go to Pakistan where militancy and extremism and, of course, terrorism is hitting and knocking the doors of all and sundry? This is the most pertinent question which we should address today in this conference, because without which I don't think we would have been very just and fair to your today's very valuable time. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, yes, we have militancy. Yes, terrorism is a very big problem. But the problem of our day in Pakistan, but there is a history to it. And we all know about that history. Back in 80s, when we fought the so-called war against communism in Afghanistan, and Pakistan was the front state line to fight that war, along with many other agencies and many other countries. And we all know what happened thereafter. Jihadis of those days today are declared as the worst terrorists. Jihadis of those days were respected and were revered, and today they are demonized, and today they are condemned. What happened in between? That is the biggest question. I will not dwell on that, but just touch upon the main points and move on. As a result of that war, there was Kalashnikov culture. As a result of that war, there was drug peddling. And as a result of that war, those groups who fought against Soviet Union thought genuinely that they had the wherewithal to win that war. Little did they realize that it was a combination of their sacrifices, and huge sacrifices, combined with most modern gadgetries supplied by those you know who, combined with money coming from those you know who, and combined with ancillary support from those you know who. And then, when the war was over, these splinter groups, turned to other places and towards other direction. And somehow there was tacit understanding and they were given support. Until 9/11 came, and everybody in this game took a U-turn. They were forced to take a U-turn, and jihadis were suddenly declared as terrorists, and guns were trained at them. Gentlemen, the rest is history. Today, it is a reality that Pakistan is facing terrorism. Pakistan is facing militancy. And we are undertaking humongous efforts, huge sacrifices, unprecedented in the history of Pakistan. All these sacrifices which were laid during the wars Pakistan fought on Kashmir in 1948 and 1965 and 1971, all put together, recent sacrifices by Pakistan Army, by our policing services, by ordinary citizens, by officers, by Jawans, they are far more than those sacrifices which were given during the wars Pakistan fought. And that shows our commitment, our unwavering commitment on this subject of terrorism, that unless and until we wipe out the stigma from the face of Pakistan, we will not rest in peace. Because these sacrifices must tell all and sundry about our commitment, about our focused approach, about our concern. And we're very grateful to our brotherly countries and other friendly countries who are supporting us in this endeavor. This war was brought to Pakistan by our follies. But that's history now. We have to move forward. I want to tell you that the government of Pakistan, all stakeholders in Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen, are fully focused and committed to fight this war. And that's why you see their reaction, which is dastardly. They kill innocent people in the bazaars of Lahore, bazaars of Peshawar, bazaars of Quetta, bazaars of Karachi. And yet, life is moving on. And yet, people are investing over there. People are harvesting. People are contributing most generously to come to the rescue of those millions of Pakistanis who have been made penniless by these floods. Rescue and relief work. People are moving on. Cities are still humming. And industry is coming up. Agriculture is throbbing. Trade is coming up. But it's a long way to go. It's a long way to go. We'll have to put our act together. So simultaneously, while we are fighting militancy and terrorism, we are not losing sight of our economy. We're not losing sight of the fact that we have to feed 180 million Pakistanis. We have to grow our exports. We have to excel in agriculture. We have to excel in livestock, in engineering, in textile. I said the other day in Abu Dhabi, ladies and gentlemen, that there was a day 30 years ago, Pakistan was competing with India in engineering industry, in metallurgy. 30 years ago, we were far ahead of India in textile. Even 20 years ago, we were far ahead of India in textile. And today, I have to say, not with a sense of disappointment, but it's a question of competition. This is a very competitive world. And India is a neighboring country. There's no doubt that there are very serious problems with India on Kashmir and water. But does it mean that we should not talk to each other? I think simultaneously, while we focus on resolving our very tense issues, we should also move forward in trade, commerce, in joint ventures. Because without that, both countries, no matter India is ahead of Pakistan today, both countries will not be able to enjoy the maximum fruits of close proximity. Because Jalandhar and Amritsar and Lahore just share the borders. And if we are able to export our goods to India and don't have to export via Dubai or via Singapore, look at the freight we will save, and vice versa. So we are not now, and I am not now focusing on those areas which have long gestation period. I am focusing, and the Pakistan government is focusing, those areas which have very short turnaround periods. And that is exactly, I said at the very start of my comments, humble submissions, that it is agriculture, it is livestock, it is dairy farming, and that's what I am trying to now answer your question, which I have framed, that while we are fully focused on fighting terrorism, inshallah, it will go one day, not overnight,